Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Final week before the upcoming holiday break, and the Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's basketball teams in the thick of the 2014-15 schedule. Of course, this week will mark the turn in the schedule. Both teams complete their 2014 portion of the schedule this week. Of course, the Lady Railsplitters have played a couple of games, one recently against Newberry on Monday night, a victory, and then most recently against King on Wednesday, in which they suffered their third loss of the season. We're going to talk about both of those games tonight with Crystal Evans a little bit later on in the show. Lincoln Memorial men have moved up the ladder on the latest NABC poll, now number 6 in the country, number 8 in the media poll. And they, too, picked up a victory on Monday night over Dave Davis and the Wolves of Newberry. And we'll talk with assistant coach Cam Wicker about that victory and about the upcoming game this weekend with UVA Wise up in Wise, Virginia. It's all coming up next right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Stay with us.
We have a big problem, and we need your help.
It's happening on college campuses, at bars, at parties, even in high schools.
It's happening to our sisters and our daughters,
our wives and our friends.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent, it's rape, it's assault.
It's a crime. It's wrong.
If I saw it happening, I was taught you have to do something about it.
If I saw it happening, I speak up.
If I saw it happening, I'd never blame her. I'd help her.
Because I don't want to be a part of the problem.
I want to be a part of the solution.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Hey everybody! Heart disease affects 1 in every 3 women in America, but you can fight back. There's no time to lose. Mothers, sisters, daughters, families, and friends, it's time to shout louder, stand stronger, and demand change. Let's go!
To the Batmobile. Dang it.
To the invisible jet. Dang it. Together, we can put an end to heart disease. It's time to go red for women. I could use your help. Yeah! Learn more from the American Heart Association at www.goredforwomen.org.
If you love your car or truck, let us help you keep it clean at Soapy J. Soapy J's has unlimited wash plans to fit every budget. Try our $5 express wash or one of our 3 monthly wash plans. The Wheel Deal, the Soapy J, or the new Blast Wax. With our monthly wash plans, if you pay with credit card, all you do is pay for the present month and your card will be billed on the 1st of each month. Don't forget, Soapy J's has free vacuums with any wash. Soapy J's Express Car Wash, open 7 days a week. Let us help keep your car or truck clean at Soapy J's. Soapy J's on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. The Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team still among the ranks of the unbeaten as they head into their final game of 2014. That'll be Sunday over in Wise, Virginia. They'll take on the Highland Cavaliers of UVA Wise, and it's a game that has really kind of started to develop over here in the last few years into somewhat of a rivalry of the Powell's Valley, which extends way up and down the Cumberland Mountain Range. Nonetheless, that'll take place on an afternoon schedule. Cam Wicker, assistant coach for the Railsplitters, joins us. And, Coach, you're going to go into this one having hit the floor successfully on Monday night with a big victory over Dave Davis and the Wolves. That was not only a regional game, but also a South Atlantic Conference game. Keeps you unbeaten in both of those. And by virtue of that, and as I'm told, it really didn't get figured into the rankings, you moved up from number 8 to number 6 this week.
Well, we did, and we played really well on Monday night. We thought our guys played the most complete game of the year. You look and go down the box score, everybody that got minutes for us really played well. Tim Pierce had 21 and 8. KP, Keenan Peterson had 19 and 17. Jarrell Simmons gave us some big minutes, and Luquan Choice obviously knocked in some big threes and played well for us. So it was very encouraging to see that, and like I said, to play your most complete game of the year against a Newberry team that was coming in very talented and very good in sack play and playing for first as of right now. It was really good for us.
You're watching the early minutes of Monday night's game with the Wolves of Newberry, and I thought in the, let's say, the first 7 or 8 minutes of the contest, maybe a little bit longer than that, I don't know, Newberry kind of dictated the tempo of the game and what took place, but I never felt as though LMU was any danger. They just kind of sat back, let Newberry do what they were doing, and then waited for their opportunity to strike. And when they struck, they reached out, grabbed the lead, and really never looked back.
Well, Newberry plays a very unique style of basketball. They want to, turn, up the tempo, make you play fast. They'll trap, they'll press, they'll trap ball screens, they'll trap the first pass. So really, in practice all week, we kind of talk to our guys. Don't get sped up, play within the game, be smart. And I think in the first couple minutes, it kind of showed their pressure and everything kind of maybe got to us a little bit. But we eventually settled down. Like you said, we kind of let the game come to us. I thought our guys did a great job executing on the offensive end. And then defensively, I thought we guarded them pretty well. They came into the game averaging almost 12 made threes a game. They only made 8. So defensively, we played well. And, we were very pleased with the effort.
In talking about this year's Railsplitter basketball team, I think it's been a general consensus that the strength of the team is in its guard play. I mean, we've got a great deal of depth, a lot of athleticism, a lot of talent, and as a result, we have multiple weapons out on the perimeter. We've got great inside play as well. Take nothing away from the LMU post play, but I thought that due to the foul situation on Monday, I saw us go deeper down the bench than I've seen us go this year in a need-to basis.
Well, we had to go to the bench early. We were in foul trouble. But like I said, guys came off the bench and played well. Jarrell Simmons gave us some good minutes. Even Devin Hankins came in in a last-ditch effort to come in and give us some good minutes at the point. So, guys coming off the bench, and that's what we're going to need. You're not going to have everybody play their best game all year long, and it's a testament to our guys. Something they've done all year is guys have stepped up. It's not just been one guy. It hasn't been just Luquan. It hasn't been just Lorenza. Curtis Webb, Jarrell Simmons, Tim Pierce, Keenan Peterson, all those guys have stepped up in different games and different situations. And it's like we said, we have guys that are capable of getting 20 in a given night, and that's good for us. And like I said, also, it was encouraging to see everybody play well against Newberry.
With such a big game against the Wolves on Monday, obviously that was in terms of being ranked, 2 nationally ranked teams, the first time I've seen that in the Tex Turner Arena since maybe the NAI days, and that took place in the Mars Gym. You've had the entire week off. Now you're going up to UVA-Wise, a team that's not ranked, but one that has had some success against us over the last 4 or 5 years, especially up in Wise, Virginia. It would be easy to look at that similar to a setup game.
Well, like you just alluded to, they got us when we went up there 2 years ago, and a lot of guys that were on this team, C.J. Wakely, Lorenzo Ross, Keenan Peterson, those guys were on this team, and I think they know going up there there's going to be a tough place to play, and we have to be focused. It's easy to get complacent after a victory on Monday night, but we got to come back. We got 3 days of preparation. We got to have good practices, great focus, something I thought we did have leading into the Newberry game, and I think it showed on the floor. So we got to do the same thing this week. Everybody that you play has a chance to beat you on any given night, so you can't take an opponent or take a night off. So I think our guys will be ready. We want to close out this first stretch and get 11-0 and go into Christmas break feeling good about ourselves.
Each year when the season is over, you, head coach Josh Schertz, Coach Fisher, and any of the other staff that may be around at that time, sit down and carefully evaluate what this team needs for the next and upcoming season. When we have players go out of the lineup, such as a Tim Pierce with an ankle injury or somebody due to an illness of something of that nature, how big a detriment is it to the success of this team? I mean, do we need that full complement of depth night in, night out to come in and play to the level that we did on Monday night against Newberry?
Well, I think I don't know that it is important to have depth, and it is important to have guys being able to come off the bench and play well in certain situations. Foul trouble was an issue Monday night, so we had guys step up. So obviously depth is a big thing for us, and it's a strength we have. I believe coming into this year, we have a lot of guys that have played before. We do have guys stepping into new roles, but the depth is a good thing to have. So we know that if somebody does go down with an injury or, like I said, in foul trouble, we do have guys to step up. So it is important to have depth, and I think, Coach Schertz, since he's been here, has done a great job of developing players and getting guys ready for the situation and getting ready for the moment. So when that time does come, they're ready to perform.
In that rotation and in that scheme of depth there, when you've got guys like Lorenzo Ross, Curtis Webb, and Luquan Choice in the starting lineup, and then you've got guys like Jarrell Simmons, Tim Pierce, C.J. Wakely, and on down the line coming in off the bench as the reinforcement guards. We'll go to Calipari termination or terms, but most of those guys would start for a lot of the teams in our conference, if not a lot of teams in the Southeast region.
That's correct, and you know it shows their character and where they're at in terms of, you know, they're a team first type of players. You know, they could easily be down about not starting or getting their minutes or their shots up, but everybody kind of comes together. They know their role, and you know, you've been here and you've seen Coach Schertz. He never has a set starting five. That starting five can change on a nightly basis, and you know, guys will be ready. But you know, we have some great guys in the locker room. They understand their role and they understand what's asked of them, and I think that's what makes this team so great.
All right, let's talk about the scout on UVA-wise. Obviously, a lot of time to prepare for them. I'm sure that the coaching staff has thought about this one in depth, that we don't want to have a hiccup before the holiday break, go into this break on a strong note. And I really, quite frankly, losing what we lost last year in terms of personnel, I didn't think we'd be where we are right now at this point in the year. But fortunately we are, and now we have an opportunity to make the turn on a very strong note.
We do, and like I said, we're going to go in there and you know, try to stay focused, prepare, and do a great job and getting ready for them on Sunday. Like you said, there's some added pressure, if you will, with the heated of the rivalry of the terms of the game. So that's you know, that'll be big for us. But we're going to focus on us. We're going to try to play well. It is a tough place to play. We did you know, fall to them 2 years ago at Wise. So hopefully our guys, you know, will stay focused. I think they will, and we can go up there and get a win and close out on a good note.
Do we know anything specifically in terms of the scouting report on UVA-wise?
Nothing specific. You know, they're a team that is you know, struggling right now, but I think you know, they're going to be amped up to play. We just got to focus on ourselves. I think it's a game that if we go up there and execute and play like we're capable of playing, you know, we should come out on top. But you know, you can never take a team lightly, and we're going to have to stay focused.
How about the Railsplitters at this point in the year, going into our final game of 2014? Everybody healthy?
Everybody's healthy as of right now, and you know, we hope it stays that way. Obviously, you know, we've been bitten by the injury bug in the past, but you know, hoping we can stay healthy and 100% I think moving forward.
I know you can't really comment due to NCAA regulations, but you can allude to the fact recruiting right now. How's that going? Because I know that's an ongoing process.
Recruiting is an ongoing process. We're currently, you know, working and trying to find future Railsplitters, obviously that'll fit our program and fit what we're trying to do here. You know, we'll go to some holiday tournaments over break, and then hopefully once the season ends, we'll have some guys visit campus and stuff. But we're very excited about the players we have here and some of the potential recruits that we could be bringing in.
Won't say any names, but one particular signee that's already inked that he will play his collegiate career at Lincoln Memorial had 33 the other night in a game up in a rivalry game up in Kentucky. So good to know he's going to be a point guard and he's going to be a dandy. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Rusty.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
And to follow the swimming rules.
You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox under the bed.
Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
You can be a hero by being prepared for an emergency. First, make a plan. Call a family meeting to plan for things like how to connect with loved ones after an emergency.
There.
Or your escape route.
I am not fast.
Build a kit. When disaster strikes, it's important to have enough supplies to last 3 days. And don't forget the batteries.
Low battery.
Number 3, know the facts. From blackouts to floods, no matter the emergency, the more you know about it, the better you can deal with it.
You're gonna need some upgrades.
Number 4, get involved. Lend a hand. in your community, to help others know their role in an emergency.
You guys, do you feel this? We're gonna be heroes!
You can be a hero by being prepared.
Yes!
Visit ready.gov/kids for more preparedness tips.
The Railsplitter Athletics Report. The Lady Railsplitter basketball team off to a 7-3 start going into their final game of the upcoming 2014 portion of the season, which is Saturday. That'll be up in Indianapolis, Indiana, against the Greyhounds of the University of Indy. And Crystal Evans, head coach of the LMU women, joins us now. Coach, it's been a mixed week this week, some bittersweet feelings, I guess. A big victory on Monday night, a conference victory over Newberry, but unfortunately a regional setback on Wednesday with King University, and one that I think this team's going to look at and realize a little bit later on that should have never happened.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping they're realizing that right now. Sometimes, you know, you're just you're trying to build a culture, you're trying to build a mindset with the team, and sometimes, you know, players tend to get complacent after a big win against Newberry and tend to look over other teams, and Keene had too much talent to, you know, look over them or you know, just assume that we were going to come in there and win and not be focused and prepared for the game. And, you know, I'm hoping that this game is a eye-opener for our team and we can learn from it and get better.
You mentioned a word that I think is the key to the loss on Wednesday, and I don't want to dwell on that loss because we did have a huge victory over Newberry on Monday night, but focus. I mean, when you look at it, and it was one of the things that I was concerned about coming into this final week of play for 2014 was focus going into this holiday break. As good as we looked on Monday night, and I thought that was possibly the best 40 minutes of basketball we've had, Wednesday evening it was almost as though we took a couple of steps back.
We did. You know, and I'm hoping we took one step back to take 2 steps forward, you know, just looking on it with the positive side. But again, you know, you can't take any team for granted. Every team out there is going to come out there and they're trying to beat you, and you got to be stepping on the court ready to play, and you got to be ready to execute the game plan. And, you know, we just weren't. Just the bottom line, we just weren't.
Let's go back to Monday night's game. Obviously, that was a game that you had plenty of time to prepare for with finals week prior to that. Newberry was a team that was basically tied with us in the South Atlantic Conference standings, and one that presented a lot of problems in terms of their personnel with Haley LePay on the inside and Samantha Creed on the outside. I thought for the most part we did a great job on both of them, despite the fact that they wound up getting somewhere around their season averages.
We did, and again, you know, they're great players, and, you know, sometimes it's really hard to literally take, you know, 2 players of their caliber completely out of the equation, as we were trying to do. But, you know, again, you got to give them credit. They're good players, and you know, but the thing I can say is they worked for their points. I mean, they really had to work for it. They really had to, you know, focus. You know, and Samantha Creed, she was just attacking the basket, and we bailed her out numerous times and put her to the free throw line, and she knocked down some big shots at the line. So, you know, they're good players. I do feel like, well, okay, so we did well on Samantha Creed, we did well on LePay as far as, you know, making them work for their points. But overall, you know, against everybody else, I didn't feel like anybody else was getting easy shots either. Because sometimes when you're going against a team like Newberry and you're focusing on LePay or you're focusing on a Creed, you know, then just like for us, you know, Courtney Cox stepped up. You don't want it to be a situation for them that somebody else on their team steps up and they're getting points that don't normally show up in the stats. So I do think we did a good job overall against them with that, because, you know, LePay got hers and Samantha Creed got hers, but nobody else really went off.
And that's the thing that I've kind of pointed out in years past. You know, guys like, or I say guys, players like Haley LePay or Samantha Creed, 9 times out of 10 they're going to get theirs.
Mm-hmm.
What you can't do is let that second or third player step up and beat you.
Right, I agree. And again, on the flip side of that, had that not happened for us, I mean, you got Megan Pittman who averages in double figures, and you got Stephanie who averages in double figures, and you got Courtney Cox stepping up and having 24 points. I mean, that's the thing with us is they couldn't really shut down all of our weapons because, just like we've said before, we've got depth and we've got so many weapons that can step in and contribute, and she just happened to be the one that stepped up that night.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there in terms of the weapons. I thought the depth on Monday night was really the primary key to the win because you got solid contributions from everybody that entered the lineup, from Brittany Guy to Josie Harding. I thought you got some good minutes from a lot of people that came in off the bench that were just ready to play.
I agree. The team, I mean, it's just, again, and I hate to be redundant, but they were focused. They wanted to win. They executed our game plan, our defense. There was a great rotation with our defense when a post or a guard drove and our post had to come over and help. Somebody always dropped down to Lapeo and was boxing her out and that sort of thing. I mean, we really did a good job, both defensively and offensively. And, obviously we needed every single one of those points to win the game. Newberry's a very good team, and they definitely weren't going to make it easy on us. And we came out focused and ready to play.
All right, with the situation at hand, coming off of a loss on Wednesday to King, I know that you weren't happy, especially happy the way the team practiced prior to that game. Now you're going to go to Indianapolis on Saturday, and they're going to be a team that is having an up and down year. They've really gotten off to a rough start, but they're a well-coached team. They're very fundamentally sound. They're in shape. They get up and down the floor well. They've got depth. They've got talent and athleticism. How crucial is it for the Lady Railsplitters to be focused to take on a team that's struggling somewhat, but very fundamentally sound and has those other things going for them at this point?
Well, it's going to be a huge test for our character and the type of players that we have mentally. Going on the road and right before break and being focused enough to get a victory there in Indianapolis. This team is a good team, and they're constantly, one thing that I have to say about this UND team, they are constantly moving on offense. I mean, they are constantly moving on offense. No one's ever standing still, and we're really going to have to talk on defense to be able to slow them down, know where the shooters are at all times, and to defend them. And, it's really going to take a lot of focus these next few practices preparing for it. And at the end of the day, I'm hoping that, last night's game was an eye-opener, and we'll learn from it and choose to come out and prepared and ready against UND.
A couple of things going into the game with the Greyhounds in terms of the Lady Railsplitters. What specifically will you work on this week to better us or help improve us in certain areas?
Well, to be very honest, our spacing. I mean, a lot of times in our game last night, I felt like we were defending ourselves. We were literally on top of each other. There was no spacing. We weren't reading who was helping, and it's no surprise teams are going to collapse on our post players. They've done it all season, and we just weren't making the reads. We weren't reading who was helping, who was collapsing, that sort of thing. And we just got to improve on that and move forward. Teams are gonna, they're gonna see we're very talented inside, and so they're gonna try to take our inside game away. And we've put in numerous things to counter that, and we just didn't execute them last night.
All right, with this game, this will be the final time that we'll be talking to you here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report for 2014. So when will the Lady Railsplitters return from the Christmas break and get back to business in preparation for 2015?
They will be back December 31st. We have a 7 to 9 practice that night.
Any hopes for this team for 2015 in terms of where you'd like to see them go from now until then?
Well, again, there's still a lot of things that we need to work on, and we're still tinkering as a team. But more importantly, I would just really like for a couple of our players to step up with their leadership and really just kind of take hold of that role and embrace it and just take our team, literally put it on their backs and be that emotional leader for us on and off the court, because it's very important. We desperately need that right now.
Coach, about 10 seconds. How about the Evans family? Anything on Santa's list that you hope for the Evans family?
Well, my kids are really big into Frozen now, so anything that has Elsa.
Well, then there's that. Everybody else wanting an elf on a shelf, and you're wanting Frozen stuff. All right, Coach, good luck. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Good luck against the Greyhounds Saturday. All right, we'll take a time out. Be back to close out the show. You're locked into the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Stay with us.
At Citizens Bank, we're different from everyone else. We've proudly served business communities of Northeast Tennessee since 1912 and have security you can count on. We offer the convenience of internet banking, excellent loan services on various types of loans, cash management, and small business banking at all of our convenient locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, New Tazewell, Bean Station, and Morristown. Visit our website to find out more at citizensbanktn.com. Citizens Bank, no more banking as usual.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
From commercial to residential, from the basement to the attic, Knoxville Drywall can deliver full-service drywall, insulation, and paint contracting. Knoxville Drywall specializes in new and tenant build-outs, drywall repair, drywall grids, metal stud framing, acoustical ceilings, suspended drywall ceilings, and ceiling and wall texturing and painting. Knoxville Drywall also provides wall-blown insulation for existing walls, attic-blown insulation, wall and ceiling batts insulation, and crawlspace insulation. Knoxville Drywall Incorporated, serving Knoxville and the surrounding area for more than 56 years with outstanding quality and competitive pricing.
Whether institutional case good or architectural woodwork, Nolan Products Incorporated of Knoxville has been serving East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky since 1958. From concept to finish, Nolan Products custom builds to the highest quality standards to meet your facility specifications while using only the finest materials available. Nolan Products has been serving and meeting the needs and requirements of general contractors and architects in East Tennessee and surrounding area for more than 55 years. Nolan Products Incorporated, 912 Forsyth Street, Northeast, Knoxville.
Welcome back to the Railsplitter Athletics Report. Again, Crystal Evans and the Lady Railsplitters in action on Saturday and up in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'll have pregame coverage beginning at 1:40 on the LMU Sports Network. Tip-off slated for 2 o'clock, and of course we'll have postgame commentary from Coach Evans following the game, win or lose. That'll be the final game of 2014 for the Lady Railsplitters. The Railsplitters on the road Sunday. That's the 21st. Unfortunately, we will not be able to broadcast that due to prior engagements on our flagship station, WLMU 91.3 FM. So if you want to check that game out, you've either got to catch it live statistics or you'll have to drive up to Wise, Virginia and watch and support the Railsplitters. So hopefully that'll be the case. The 3rd of January, the next time both teams are back into conference action, that'll be on the road, Hickory, North Carolina, when they take on Lenore-Ryan University. And again, I'll have the coverage of both of those games, so we hope that you'll join us there. Until then, if you'd like to keep up to date on everything going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You can find everything you want to know about LMU Athletics right there at that location. Next week, I'm going to be talking with a couple of individuals who are kind of tied to Lincoln Memorial University. They are alums, but they are now members of the ROHO organization, and we'll be showing you Lincoln Memorial's involvement with the annual ROHO shopping spree. That's next Thursday, and of course on New Year's Day. Until then, I'm Rusty Peace. Happy holidays, everybody.